So, this is an article coming out of Fortune. The economy is moving us back into the 19th century as fertility rates plunge. I'm going to do this article, but I'm going to also talk about the sentiments of men seemingly wanting to also take us back to the 19th century because I think women are opting out of marriage because of a multitude of reasons. The economy is hitting younger generations hard. Millennials and Gen Zers face sky high mortgage rates, soaring home prices, and inflation, and is slowing some traditional or otherwise historic milestones like having a child. Indeed, women are starting families later and having fewer children, with some foregoing starting a family altogether. According to a report released Thursday by the National Center for Health Statistics within the CDC, but the most staggering statistic in the report is that the US total fertility rate hit a record low in 2023. In the comment section, let me know, when did you start having kids? I started having kids at the age of 33. And I know that first time moms, the age is getting higher and higher. So let me know, when did you start having children? And do you plan on opting out altogether? Just let me know in the comments. So the birth rate is currently at 1.62 births per woman. That's well below replacement rate or the number of births needed to meet the number of older generations of 2.1 births. So basically, the birth rate has fallen to Satan's pantry. For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That's the social compact breaking down. That's what Scott Galloway said. He's a professor at New York University Stern School of Business. He said that in a recent interview with Morning Joe, only 27% of adults ages 30 to 34 have one child, he said, but in 1990, that percentage was 60%. People are opting out of America. They are not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Indeed, the National Center for Health Statistics report showed that birth rates declined for women aged 15 to 39. Overall, there were about 3.59 million births in the US in 2023, down 2% from 2022, according to the report.
For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Young people aren't having sex. They're not meeting. They're not mating. The pool of emotionally and economically viable men shrinks every day, which lessens household formation. So we have a real issue. Young people are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling. Their purchasing power is going down, and the incumbents create artificial scarcity on campus. We take pride in rejecting 90% of our applicants, so the incumbents who already have a degree see their degree go up in value. We get very concerned with housing and traffic once we own a housing. Housing permits are sequestered from young people. Housing prices have gone from $290 to $420 in the last 4 years. So a young person, a house, stocks that I don't own skyrocket in value. Let's have COVID relief and flush the markets and take assets way up, because if 1 million people dying would be bad, it would be tragic if I got less wealthy. And we're doing it on their credit card. Young people have every reason to be enraged, and every issue they see, they look up, they get angry, and they see someone doing better than them. And then every day it is speedballed in their face that they are failing, that they are not doing as well as everyone around them. We have lost the script. Our kids are more anxious and more depressed and more obese and more addicted. And we have made a purposeful decision to let this happen by ensuring the people around this table stay wealthy at the cost of young people.
What's more, birth rates are declining at an even faster rate for minority women. General fertility declined 5% for Black women, as well as American Indian and Alaska Native women, and 3% for Asian women, according to the report. That's largely driven by morbidity and mortality rates for women of color. Peggy Roberts, a board-certified women's health nurse practitioner licensed in New York, tells Fortune. They really need to care about Black women's health and other women of color, but they don't. So hopefully women keep opting out until such time as it's actually optimal and women can do so safely. These trends instill a sense of apprehension among women regarding the risk linked with pregnancy and childbirth. Consequently, women are opting to forego the prospect of having children. Why are women having fewer children? There are a number of factors affecting the declining birth rate, but personal finance and career choices continue to be top of the mind for women in the years traditionally committed to having children. Many women are delaying having children into their late 30s and 40s to get ahead in their career. That's especially true for some of the most successful women in business, including Noyi, the former CEO of PepsiCo. While Noyi undoubtedly had an illustrious career, she always felt guilty about balancing the care of her two daughters and work, she told Fortune at the 2014 Aspen Ideas Festival. The biological clock and the career clock are in total conflict with each other, she said. Plus, women reach their peak earning years in their 40s, and their prime employment age for women continues to rise, according to a 2023 report from the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School of Business. A woman's 30s and 40s are traditionally dedicated to career development. But when that time frame also overlaps when they're expected to have children, Noyi said, kids become teenagers as their mothers are promoted to middle management, and that's the time your husband becomes the teenager, she joked. Plus, as children grow older, that's also the time a mother's aging parents also need care. And women are expected to do all of the caretaking, just about. And women are supposed to sacrifice their earnings and their financial health, thinking that their husbands will step in, but there are no protections for women that forego their prime their financial health. They are not protected. Women are not protected. So why should so many women keep sacrificing, knowing that there are no protections for women? She said, we're screwed. We cannot have it all. More women are vocalizing their choice to remain childless, to pursue higher education, says Roberts. Plus, women express concerns about lack of available partners for forming long-term relationships and starting families. The birth rate has also been affected by an increased awareness of contraception. Janet Choi, a board-certified reproductive endocrinologist and chief medical officer at fertility care provider Progeny, tells Fortune, more women now have access to contraception and use it. This can be especially said of long-acting reversible contraceptive in recent years. There are so many reasons why women are opting out or doing the one and done type of thing. And we're also seeing lots of reasons play out on social media. Women are saying we need more participation from the men as far as helping out, not helping. I need to change that. And as far as caring for their own children, women are expressing this loudly. Child free people see this, child free women see this. Why would they get into these situations knowing how flippant men can be about caring for their own children, knowing how nonchalantly these peen havers can just walk away? So let's take it to Twitter. These men want to make sure that the birth rate continues to tumble to hell. Here we have Will Spencer. He says single, unmarried, childless women over 30 have lived in willful rebellion from God's design for them. Dress it up how you want to, usually with victimhood. My dad was mean, but it's still true. A woman's repentance for defying God's design will create humility in her. In that space of humility, she'll see God's justice at work. Pray for mercy and perhaps be given grace. Now, this man, he's going to keep going on and on. Basically, child free, unmarried women are, they're just rebelling against God. Now, he is wild, but lots of people say stuff like this about child free women. Then we have this woman who is tearfully explaining why she and her partner broke up, that she is newly postpartum, got this newborn, just fresh baby, fresh out the womb, and her man left. Her man just left. And then you have people coming for her in the comment section like she did something wrong, as if women are not going through all kind of changes internally as we bake these babies, after we push these babies out and then try to heal. Our hormones are all over the place. Our bodies are changing, and these people can simply just walk away. And I need to highlight this because it is such a traumatic thing, and you can hear the sadness in this woman's voice.
Posting why you broke up on the internet.
I was struggling with postpartum depression 2.5 weeks after giving birth. So my partner thought that I was asking for too much when I was asking him to be home and spend time with me and love his son and be there for me. But because I wasn't doing the dishes or doing the laundry or making him food, I wasn't a good enough partner and I was asking for too much. And he didn't want to do things like boyfriend girlfriends do. Like, he didn't want to snuggle or cuddle or love me or tell me that I was beautiful or tell me that he was proud of me. So he kicked us out 3 weeks postpartum, and my baby is 9 weeks postpartum today. And if he sees this or if his friends see this, you know that I'm right. You know that's exactly what happened. I have the most beautiful son, but I'm still postpartum depressed. I'm still struggling. So I hope he's happy.
Like Annie says, all the people in the comments saying that they should have got married before having a baby, as if he wouldn't still leave her. Being married doesn't stop weak men from walking out on their families. They're basically making this the woman's fault. Watson says the lack of sympathy for this woman in the replies is disgusting. She carried and birthed that man's son, the greatest gift, and he kicked her out. F him, F all weak, deadbeat men who do this to their women and children. So this man says, so you weren't doing anything around the house. Why not? Because these MFers don't understand or don't care that women's bodies are healing after having a baby. They don't think that they have to step in and do anything to support the woman, despite the fact that she just went through this birthing trauma and that her hormones need to get back to normal and that she's still trying to support this new baby. This woman says, my son's father walked out on me when I was 6 months pregnant. I thought I could be a family man, but I just can't. Men can say these types of things and just walk out, but women cannot. And then women, the single moms, get castigated. Then you have handmaidens like Tara. So she didn't want to cook for him, do the laundry, or clean the house, but she wanted to snuggle and be told she's beautiful. Assuming there isn't more to the story that she's not telling us, while kicking them out is extreme, he did have a right to expect more from her. And that's assuming there isn't more to the story that she's not telling us. For so many reasons, I hope that the birth rate continues to plummet. We simply do not treat mothers well. Careers don't treat mothers well. People don't treat mothers well. The daddies are not treating the mothers of their children well. Stop having these kids for a while. 4B, West 4B. Let's just let it tumble. Let it tumble. Let it burn. Like, comment, share, y'all.